It's Game 3 of the Round Rock Classic, a Sunday afternoon meeting between the Baylor Bears and the number 18 Southern Miss Golden Eagles. The Bears looking to find a win after two heartbreakers after losing 3-1 on Friday night to Oregon State and then getting walked off by Purdue, losing 6-5 on Saturday. And the Bears, it'll not be an easy test as Southern Miss 2-0 so far on the weekend, and they've been impressive. Beat Oregon State yesterday 9-4, and you can catch all of this action right here on the Baylor Lariat Radio. Hi, everyone, and I hope y'all are doing well. I'm Jeffrey Cohen. Here alongside me is Aiden O'Connor. And Aiden, the story for the Bears has been the bullpen, and it has not been exactly what they were hoping.
No, it has not. And Baylor's starting pitching has been excellent throughout the weekend with Stahl and yesterday with Ethan Calder. And today, what Baylor needs to hone in on is that relief pitching, as every single run they've allowed during this Round Rock Classic has come from the bullpen. 9 runs, and a lot of those being after the 6th inning when Baylor either has a lead, the game is tight, and the bullpen just gives the game away. And the other part of that as well is, well, you also have woes within the bullpen, as we're talking about. Batting has not helped out either for this Baylor team, especially towards those later innings, as we were talking about before this pregame, how Tice Armstrong has only reached base once, and that wasn't even because of a hit. And he hasn't gotten any hits during this tournament so far, and only 4 Baylor players have 2 hits or more. And so really today, while relief is the biggest issue for sure, it is getting the hitting back up and running and really having this dual threat that Baylor seemed to have yesterday versus Purdue at the beginning, where they had great pitching, the batting was doing really well, and then suddenly it just all sort of fell apart, Jeffrey. Yeah,
and the Bears, among the field here at the Round Rock Classic, they ranked dead last with a .219 average. They had the fewest amount of runs with 6, the fewest amount of hits with 14, and the most strikeouts with 30. But what's been really working for their offense is being aggressive on the base paths and using that speed. 7 of 9 on stolen base attempts on the weekend. Nobody else has more than 2. And we saw a lot of that last game when the Bears went 5 for 6 on stolen bases.
Definitely, that has been one thing that has really been implemented, especially Oregon State you didn't see as much, but yesterday implemented really well. And you saw how the kind of threat on the base paths that Baylor provided really did get in the head of Zach Erdman and many Purdue pitchers and make them rethink where they were going to go off the mound and try to throw it back to first. And that is a big proponent of this offense, and really didn't see a whole lot versus Oregon State. Saw a lot yesterday versus Purdue, but again, it's about that consistency and carrying that through into today.
Yeah, and you had talked about how some of the biggest names in this lineup need to get going. Tice Armstrong particularly, who's 0 for 8 on the weekend. And there's a couple of guys that have also really struggled to even just put the ball in play, right? Travis Sanders, when he does put the ball in play, he makes the most of it, right? He's got 2 doubles and a single. But when he doesn't put the ball in play, he's got 5 strikeouts on the weekend. So if you're the Bears and you're this lineup, what do you have to do to put the ball in play and make contact, even if it's not a base hit every time?
I mean, it's a difficult thing to really break down, Jeffrey, because a lot of these strikeouts and that you've seen from this Baylor roster, it's been a mix. It's been, some of them have been looking, some of them have been while they're swinging, and so it's really just toning and dialing that aggressiveness in, and really, again, just being patient while being at the at-bat, but also having aggressiveness from the jump, as I've talked about this entire weekend. What has really worked for this Baylor team is being aggressive on that first pitch and creating the sort of tenacity and energy going into the at-bat so that it's not just relaxed, oh, we're waiting on the first couple pitches just to kind of feel it out, and then suddenly you're in a 1-ball, 2-strike count because you've been looking. And so there's just sort of a mix there where I think Baylor just needs to really be aggressive on the first pitch throughout the day.
Yeah, and for Southern Miss yesterday against Oregon State, it's a story that Baylor has seen already 2 times this weekend. Well, Southern Miss scored 1 run in the first, got blanked in the next 4 frames, and then they put up 3 runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th, and then 1 in the 8th and 9th. And so the path to success is there. You basically just have to do the opposite of what the bullpen has done so far and what the lineup has done. But it's going to be extremely difficult when you see who you're playing, because Southern Miss scores runs late. Their pitching staff right now is the best one in the weekend. Staff 250 ERA, 18 innings pitched, 22 hits, giving up only 8 runs while striking out 25 and walking only 7. So Southern Miss will not give you very much.
Oh, no, they won't give you much at all, especially when it comes to pitching. But today, what will be interesting for both of these teams in particular is how their starters will play. As, you know, we talked about, both starters have been very strong for these teams throughout the weekend, but this by far, statistically, are the 2 weakest starters for both Southern Miss and Baylor, with McCarty English, you know, missed a little bit of his freshman year, then last year only saw some brief appearances and had a 22.5 ERA. And then Cade Hansen as well in his lone appearance this year, having 3 runs hit on him versus New Mexico State.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough battle for the Bears, trying to get 1 win, trying to avoid going 0-3 on the weekend. In the final weekend that's fully in February, next weekend they'll be heading to Houston, where they'll face some even tougher competition, but that's down the line. So we'll step aside just for a few moments, and we'll come back with our starting lineups and first pitch on this Sunday afternoon ball game. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Hey there, Bears! Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
just a few moments away from first pitch on this Sunday afternoon game between Baylor and Southern Miss. And as we await first pitch, I'll send it over to Aiden with our first starting lineup.
For Southern Miss, at the number 1 spot, we have right fielder Ben Higdon. The number 2 spot, DH Joey Urban. The number 3 spot, Matthew Russo. And at the cleanup position at number 4, left fielder Davis Gillespie. At number 5 position, third baseman Dre Barrett. Number 6 position, second baseman Kyle Morrison. Number 7, center fielder Caleb Stelly. Number 8 position, catcher Lawson Odom. And at the last position, number 9, shortstop Seth Smith.
That's so the Baylor defense will be going up against that Southern Miss lineup. Braden Buchanan gets the nod behind the dish once again. Had the start yesterday. Tice Armstrong back at first. Pearson Reebok at second. Travis Sanders at short. Brighton Clements, once again, the starting third baseman, coming in over Cade Dodson. And then in the outfield, Hunter Snow in left field. Ty Johnson in straightaway center. And Brady Janusek in right. And then, Aiden, how about that Baylor lineup?
At the number 1 spot, you have right fielder Brady Janusek. The number 2 spot, second baseman Pearson Reebok. Number 3 spot, shortstop Travis Sanders, moving down from his previous number 1 spot over the last 2 days. At cleanup, you have first baseman Tice Armstrong. Number 5 spot, left fielder Hunter Snow. The 6th spot, third baseman Brighton Clements. Number 7 spot, DH John Ewens. Number 8th spot, catcher Braden Buchanan. And at the 9th spot, center fielder Bo Caraway.
And so for that Golden Eagle defense, Lawson Odom will be at catcher, Matthew Russo at first, Kyle Morrison at second, Seth Smith right next to him at short, Dre Barrett will be at the hot corner, and then Davis Gillespie in left, Caleb Stelly in right, and Ben Higdon will be in right. Davis Gillespie in left field. And so our umpires for today's game behind home plate will be John Brammer. At first base, Blake Felix. Second base umpire will be Doug Williams. And third base, A.J. Wendell. And Aiden, if there's any guy for Baylor that you want to see that can make a difference in this ball game and get him over the hump and salvage anything from this weekend, who are you looking to?
I mean, really, as we talked about in the pregame, I think it's Tice Armstrong, a guy who, as we've continued to talk about and will be talked about the rest of the season, had a stellar opening 4 games, having that amazing NCAA record-setting 3 Grand Slam game. But really, he's been absent, and he was such a big part of this offense. And so for him today to be able to get hits, be able to not be just a hole in the lineup, because as of late, that's what it's been, 0 hits. And so having him be more involved, I think, will be pivotal for this Baylor offense today.
So on the mound for the Bears, it's the righty senior Cade Hansen out of New Braunfels, Texas. Spent the last 3 seasons at Division III Wisconsin Whitewater, making his second appearance on the season for the Bears. He pitched last Sunday against New Mexico State, went 4 innings, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs, while striking out 2 and did not walk any, and threw 70 pitches. This is going to be a tough lineup. Couple lefties sprinkled in throughout the lineup for Southern Miss. Ben Higdon leading off, and then Matthew Russo in the 3rd spot. Then a little lower down the order, Kyle Morrison in the 6th spot, and then Seth Smith rounding things out. So what we've seen from Baylor's lineup is that they mix up the lefty and righty hitters quite well, but they haven't faced as many on the other side. But today will definitely be a new challenge for Cade Hansen in his first season for the Baylor Bears under head coach Mitch Thompson and pitching coach Sean Snedeker.
And I mean, it's just a transition for Hansen, you know, coming from a lower D3 school to coming here and the opening versus New Mexico State, just trying to feel the new level of play. And allowed 3 runs is not what you wanted to see versus a team like New Mexico State. But today, I mean, you get to face Southern Miss and really work on your craft and be able to transition. Because last year, when he was in D3, I mean, 12-1, having a 2 ERA, and was able to do so well at Wisconsin Whitewater. But As we talked about, this is just something different.
And so far this weekend, Baylor starting pitchers have done a very good job keeping opposing lineups off the board. It's been the bullpen that's been the biggest issue. Little stoppage, but we're ready. The first pitch of the ball game underway. Hard ground ball to second. Stopped on a hop by Pearson Reebok. His throw over in time for out number 1.
And that's something that's been a strength of this Baylor pitching staff, as we talked about before, and versus Purdue and Oregon State, is getting those weak contact hits. And so as you see right there, even though it's not as flashy as a strikeout, getting those lower pitch count at bats and getting a quick out from weak contact right there is so pivotal for this Baylor defense just to get out of these innings.
So now it's Joey Urban up to bat. Had a very good game yesterday against Oregon State as he stares at strike 1. Went 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, 2 runs, as well as a home run and a triple in the Golden Eagles' 9-4 win over the Beavers. This one a ground ball. Now to short, moving to his right is Sanders. His toss, and gets it over for out number 2.
Yeah, Joey Urban, even though getting out right there, he's really the type of performance, especially yesterday, bringing that team back, is what Baylor really wants to see out of somebody like Tice Armstrong. That type of performance, getting those runs in, and so that's what they'll be hoping for today.
And now it's Matthew Russo. And he stares at ball 1, up and inside. Russo in this tournament, 2 for 8. 2 RBIs and a run. Also has himself a double as he lifts this one, and it goes foul on the third base side.
Russo just getting 1 hit and 1 RBI in yesterday's game versus Oregon State.
He has started in all 6 games for the Golden Eagles heading into today as he lifts this one high into shallow left field. Backing up is Clements, and he converges with Hunter Snow, and it is a fair ball, and it is a fair ball, and it's a single for Matthew Russo. Some confusion from the umpiring crew. And the Golden Eagles are on base for the first time today.
It looked like there was some confusion, kind of like we saw yesterday at the beginning of the Purdue game. Just the sun in that left field kind of making some of those pop-up balls really hard to track.
Is in an awkward spot down the left field line, a little too far for both Hunter Snow and Brighton Clements. The first pitch to Davis Gillespie. Can't quite find the zone, ball 1.
Davis Gillespie been such a consistent part of this Southern Miss offense, having multiple games with 2 hits.
He pops this one straight behind home plate. Looking to see if he has room, and he does. Braden Buchanan makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. A quick inning for Cade Hansen. Only throwing 8 pitches and getting 3 outs, and we'll get our first look at the Bears lineup when we come back. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
So Mitch Thompson shaking up the first third of the lineup as Brady Janusek will lead things off, move Travis Sanders down to third, and on the mound for the Golden Eagles, it's the righty McCarty English.
McCarty English only having one outing so far this year with 3 innings pitched and 2 strikeouts and 1 earned run.
As Janusek stares at that fastball, misses low and away for ball 1. Janusek 2 for 7 on the weekend with an RBI and a run. Fouls one straight back.
A little bit of a mix-up here in terms of the lineup for Baylor. Now having Janusek in the top spot.
And so far this weekend, Travis Sanders really has shown either strikeout or he's shown power, with 2 of his 3 hits being for doubles, as that's a swing and a miss on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Janusek behind in the count, 1-2.
As I was talking about before, Sanders really got going yesterday. A lot of those strikeouts were both swinging and looking.
That pitch misses up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bears wearing their home white jerseys with pinstripes, green caps. Southern Miss wearing gold tops, gray pants. That one swing and a miss. Brady Janusek swinging on top of the breaking ball, and he's down on strikes for out number 1.
And it's just really hard to sort of diagnose what the offensive issue has been for Baylor, because as we talked about, the strikeouts have come in both ways, and so it's just a really difficult place for this Baylor offense right now.
We'd mentioned they came into today leading the tournament field in strikeouts with 30. So now it's 31. As Pearson Reebok steps into the left-handed batter's box. He stares at strike 1. McCarty English last season made 5 appearances in relief, 22.50 ERA. That one check swing, but Reebok did not go on the low pitch.
Reebok really been a bright spot this weekend, especially with that performance versus Oregon State.
As this one popped up into shallow left field, backing up is Seth Smith. He calls off his left fielder Gillespie and makes the catch for quick out number 2.
You can even see there, even though they caught it for Southern Miss, there's still that sun in left field definitely providing some confusion as to where the ball is. And Travis Sanders trying to continue, as we talked about, sort of that late game surge he had yesterday.
And Sanders last year spent a lot of his time in kind of the middle part of that lineup, moving around. Didn't spend a whole lot of leadoff as he looks at strike 1. But this season, even though very young, has mainly found himself in the leadoff spot. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Couldn't handle the off speed right there.
These 2 innings really going exactly how these pitchers have wanted it to. Low pitch count, just really getting through these innings quick.
Called third strike. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for McCarty English on 11 pitches, trying to one-up Cade Hansen, as we are scoreless through 1. And this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
It's the third baseman, Dre Barrett, leading things off for Southern Miss. Kyle Morrison on deck. Caleb Stelly in the hole.
Trey Barrett not having as good of a day as everybody else versus Oregon State yesterday, not recording a hit.
First pitch misses low from Hansen. Faced 4 batters in the first inning, only threw 8 pitches. Fastball can't find the zone, and he's behind in the count, 2 balls to no strikes.
So far in this tournament, Barrett really struggled, just only having, as talked about, no hits yesterday versus Oregon State, but only 1 hit so far in this entire tournament.
Misses outside this time with the fastball, and it's a 3-0 count to Barrett. Went 0 for 5 yesterday with 3 strikeouts against Oregon State. And he gets a strike right there at the knees. Much needed. The pitch misses inside, ball 4. And it'll be a leadoff walk allowed by Cade Hansen. So he'll be working out of the stretch once again. Sean Snedeker already coming out to the mound to talk to Hansen.
It's just difficult having such a good first inning and being really quick and then starting off this inning with a walk, getting that confidence for a guy who has jumped such a significantly higher level of play in only 1 year, just trying to keep that confidence level up for him. And as we saw yesterday, too, just a lot of dialogue between the coaching staff and the pitchers, always making sure that talking to them, and especially, too, with even the catchers as well as Braden Buchanan has also done a great job of that.
Looked like it might have been some technology issues, but looks like everything's been figured out. Cade Hansen gets set. And he deals. And he nails Kyle Morrison in the back. So 2 straight free passes allowed by Hansen to start this inning. And for Baylor pitching rotation that's been so strong this weekend, not the best start that Hansen was hoping for. Third base runner he's already allowed.
Really a pitch-perfect first inning outside of the 1 hit, but now no outs and a runner on first in scoring position. Not good.
Stelly shows bunt, pulls back. Pitch misses low for ball 1. Stelly 2 for 8 with 2 runs on the weekend. Shows bunt again. Pitch, same spot, misses below the knees, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Stelly.
Seen the bunt work to mixed success this weekend, and looks like John Snedeker is coming out once again to the mound.
So this time it's Sean Snedeker and Braden Buchanan coming to talk to Hansen.
I really want to talk about Braden Buchanan. Just his leadership this weekend has been excellent as we've seen. Just the way he's able to give confidence to these pitchers and has been really excellent as he's gotten that playing time away from Kennett.
Yeah, Braden Buchanan, the redshirt sophomore, playing near his hometown from Austin, Texas. Redshirted last year to retain his eligibility. Another bunt. This one popped up and it'll go foul.
Something interesting as Cade Hansen, is looking back at the base runners. This Southern Miss team, very unique in the way that they are conservative on the base passes. They have not even attempted a stolen base so far this year.
And so far, it works. They drive guys in, so really don't feel the need to run the bases as aggressively as Hansen steps off the rubber, throws back over to second. Hansen deals. Bunted, but it goes straight foul. Hit off Buchanan's leg. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, and we can expect Stelly to have to swing away now. No outs still. Runners on first and second.
See, Tice Armstrong was ready for that bunt attempt there as he was already right near where Cade Hansen was.
Here's the 2-2. Misses downstairs, and the count runs full.
And this is something else, too, we keep harping on is, as much as there isn't a statistic for it, the amount of full counts that Baylor has had this year for their pitchers has been immense.
This will already be pitch number 8 of the inning without getting an out. And he misses outside, ball 4, and that'll load the bases. It just seems to be an overall struggle for Baylor to really gain momentum and keep it. Right now, playing on their heels is Southern Miss threatening with bases loaded and no outs.
Yeah, this is really the biggest bind that any Baylor starting pitcher has seen so far in this tournament.
First pitch to Lawson. Odom misses upstairs. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Kicks and deals. Finds the zone right there. And that's strike 1. 1-1. No outs.
Odom hasn't seen any playing time in terms of at-bats this tournament so far.
And the 1-1 offering. No call there, so it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Disagreement there from the Baylor crowd as pressure is starting to mount for Cade Hansen.
2-1. And he can't buy a call. Pitch misses away. 3-1 to Odom, who's making his second start on the season. His lone start came on Tuesday against Southeastern Louisiana, went 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Out in front of the off speed, and it's another full count.
That was something Hansen desperately needed, and now, you really got to throw it in the strike zone because as a pitcher, for your confidence, you don't want to have 4 walks in a row to get Southern Miss on the board.
Payoff pitch. Doesn't get the call, and he'll walk in a run as Southern Miss strikes first here in the top of the second inning.
At some point, you just got to start putting stuff in the strike zone and hoping that it gets weak contact because there's no outs and now bases loaded and already 1 run scoring. the pitch count with these walks is just keeps extending with already 2 full counts back to back.
Bears already have some action in the bullpen as Seth Smith fouls off the first pitch. Charlie Atkinson, the junior right-hander out of Katy, Texas. So bases still loaded, no outs in a 1-0 ball game. Fastball misses upstairs.
Seth Smith saw some time as a pinch hitter yesterday versus Oregon State, recording 1 hit.
Here's the 1-1. Hard line drive, and it's off the extended first base. And so it is a foul ball. The first base, the extended first base they implemented about a season or 2 ago in college baseball. You've got the regular bag. It looks white, and it's the outer edge is on the foul line, and the rest of it goes in fair territory. But then you've got an orange, basically double first base bag that's to the outside, and it's meant to protect runners going from home to first. Make sure they don't collide with the first baseman. This one ripped into center field, catches some air as Ty Johnson makes the catch. But coming home is Kyle Morrison, and he will score on a sac fly from Seth Smith.
And as much as you hate to give up a run, just getting that out right now is so pivotal. And now bases, while still having somebody on first and second not loaded, is still a positive. Because just needing to get out of this repetition of walk after walk after walk.
So it's a 2-0 ball game now. Runners on first and second. First pitch gets the strike call against Ben Higdon, who granted out to second to lead off this ball game. The 0-1. This one popped up right past the infield. Travis Sanders moving to his right, comes down with the catch for out number 2.
And this is what you need, a quick 2 outs, and versus Joey Urban, who hit a ground out in the first inning, really just trying to continue that again and just get out of this inning as soon as possible if you're Cade Hansen.
And Urban, who's had a really good season thus far, hitting .500, so 10 for 20, team-leading 8 RBIs and 6 runs. Also has a pair of home runs as well, including one last night. First pitch, in at the knees for strike 1. The Southern Miss fans not liking that call, expressing their displeasure with home plate umpire John Brammer. The 0-1 fouled straight back.
It's almost right there to where we were sitting yesterday. Jeffrey might have been able to catch that one.
We're always ready. We're always ready. Hansen gets set. And he deals. Way upstairs.
And this is just an at-bat that Hansen has to be careful with, to not let it extend so far into a full count after already doing the legwork to get these 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Cade Hansen has a very rough start to the inning, giving up 4 straight free passes, ends up giving up 2 runs, but gets out of the inning with a strikeout, as now the Bears will have to climb their way back into this game. They trail 2-0. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Heart of the order due up for the Bears after going down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Tyke Armstrong getting things started. Now the Bears having to work their way down. Armstrong looks at strike one. Bears trailing 2-0 after Southern Miss cashes in on a walk and a sac fly that drove in those 2 runs as the 0-1 pitch misses low. So Tyce Armstrong, a guy that the Bears desperately need, has not gotten a hit yet this weekend, 0 for 8. The only time he reached was on a catcher's interference late Friday night. This one, slow dribbler goes foul.
And you're exactly right, Jeffrey. This is the moment that Tyce Armstrong needs to be that spark plug for this offense. Already down 2 runs and with a chance to start this inning well for Baylor.
That pitch misses upstairs. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now English trying to not have the same fate that Hansen did and try to continue that 3 up, 3 down success that he faced in the first inning.
That one misses low, gets by Lawson Odom. Yeah, these are really the games that Southern Miss wants to give their stars some confidence. As that one misses just low. Check swing from Tyce Armstrong, but he did not go around. And so he reaches base for the 2nd time this weekend. And that'll be the first Baylor base runner on the afternoon.
Saw a lot of times during that at-bat, too. A lot of check swings from Tyce Armstrong, but, you know, except for the first pitch, maintaining the bat and not going around.
So it'll be Hunter Snow. We'll try to get things going for the Bears. His first pitch check swing goes around, and it'll be strike 1. Yeah, I was looking at his game log for Tyce Armstrong, and when he does record a hit, 2 games he's had hits so far this year. He's had 3 in both of those, and then the rest of the games, 0s. Really hot or cold hitter as that pitch misses up and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Snow.
That seems to be kind of the story, at least right now, if you're looking at the sample size from here at Round Rock at the beginning of the season. Sort of a mixed bag from a lot of these players for Baylor offensively.
1-1 hits Snow in the back. And so just like the top half of this inning, it'll start with 2 free passes, a walk, and a hit by pitch.
It's very interesting how both of these pitchers really facing the same predicament in the same type of way for these first 2 innings, starting off so well and now in the same position that Cade Hansen was, 0 outs and a run on first and second.
So it's Brighton Clements. Shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a called strike. Had his first career RBI yesterday. It was an RBI double in the 4th inning that drove in Ty Johnson. Now with the chance to get RBI number 2, runners on second and first. Shows one again, pulls back, and that one's low and blocked by Lawson Odom.
For players like Hunter Snow and Clemens, just trying to figure out, being so young and freshmen, really trying to get that consistency when they're at bat.
The 1-1 bunts it, dodges the path of the ball, and he will get thrown out at first, but does the job, advances the two guys in front of him. And what kind of an odd play. So running out of the right-handed batter's box, bunts it slightly down the first baseline and had to basically avoid it. It went right in between his legs and had to make sure that his bat avoided the ball as well, but didn't affect its path at all. So the play stood as the first pitch to John Ewens, misses low and inside, ball one.
And did a great job of being able to not interfere with the ball at all and advancing two runners here for Baylor.
So there's 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Half-hearted swing by John Ewens in a ball that was in the dirt. So 1-1 count now.
And John Ewens, one of those other Baylor players looking for their first hit in this Round Rock Classic.
As he lifts this one down the left field line towards the corner, and it's just into the seats. It's about half a foot away from staying in play, but Ewens will live to see another at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Braden Buchanan on deck, Bo Caraway in the hole. That pitch misses low and in, and the count's tied up at 2. Bears looking to climb their way back even with the Golden Eagles, giving up 2 runs in the top half of the inning. Now with the tying run in scoring position, that one skips and hits the plate, and the count runs full.
Something that's been an interesting strategy from Baylor is, not many people steal home, but they've had a lot of times where players that are on third try to stunt like they are and maybe just trying to get the pitcher off balance.
And that one is high for ball 4, and that'll load the bases with 1 out. Second walk allowed by McCarty English this inning, 3rd free pass.
And now in a similar situation as well. Bases loaded, and now Braden Buchanan, who's done such a great job this tournament, having a chance to really step up and
as that first pitch misses up and away.
Step up and get this team back in this game.
Yeah, he went 2 for 3 yesterday with an RBI double. So there'll be a meeting on the mound.
Currently right now for this Baylor team, even though the at-bat sample size is lower, currently batting the best during this Round Rock Classic at 500. And also one thing, too, that we've seen, Jeffrey, is, we kind of talked about this during the break, which was the fact that Baylor, they faced a lot of batters this weekend that have had a lot of at-bats that have had several foul balls, and Baylor not doing the same. But during this inning, we've seen a lot more just aggressiveness, a lot more foul balls from Baylor.
Yeah, and really the difference is you got to at least put some pressure on the pitchers. You got to show them, hey, we can make some contact. We can barrel up these balls at some points. The 1-0 pitch called a strike at the knees to Buchanan. Because it was too often over the last 2 days that any of their swings, they either did put the ball in play or they just completely whiffed, as that offering missed low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, bases loaded. Bears trailing 2-0. Over the heart of the plate is that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is something Baylor just has to take advantage of this right now, because getting bases loaded with 1 out is not going to be something that happens often.
And this one popped up in the middle of the infield. Converging is Russo and Smith, and Russo will put it away for a crucial out number 2. And that was kind of the at-bat that we were talking about. Braden Buchanan very conservative, not swinging in the first 4 pitches, and then pops up that 5th pitch and comes up empty-handed, and the bases loaded are still loaded and no run to show for it.
And now with 2 outs, I mean, if one of these hits goes to the outfield and they're able to catch it, that's not an opportunity for Tyce Armstrong to score from third, but ends up being the end of this inning.
So now it'll be up to Bo Caraway trying to keep this inning going. It's a 1-0 count now. He went 1 for 3 with a strikeout yesterday. Fouls 1 straight back.
You know, even though Buchanan got out, sort of just having it to where you're getting contact on the ball, and that's the way you're getting out, not by striking out looking or striking out swinging, but just getting consistent contact on the ball, whether that turns into an out or whether that turns into a hit.
It's definitely would be an improvement as he stares at that strike, gets the inner third, and Caraway's down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Like we said, this is an opportunity that Baylor cannot miss.
Payoff pitch. Just misses. A little too low and away. Can't find that corner.
And Lawson Odom tried to position it as though it was a strike, kind of fooling the Southern Miss fans, but that one was a ball.
This one jammed up and fouls it the opposite way. English deals. This one a ground ball up the middle. Snag throwing across his body is the shortstop Smith. And he gets the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. He also threw over home, but doesn't matter with 2 outs, and Baylor strands the bases loaded, and they still trail 2-0. As we are through 2 innings here at Dell Diamond. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
And the frustrating weekend continues for the Baylor lineup. They had bases loaded with one out and failed to convert for any runs, as this one is ripped and it goes foul into the seats by Matthew Russo. Had a single in the first inning. And this one, a line drive down the right field line as well, but it goes foul. A little bit closer into the field of play, but still just a fraction of a second too early on his swing, and he's down in the count 0-2.
And those are 2 foul balls today we've seen from Southern Miss that if they would have just caught the line would have been deadly.
Foul tip caught by Buchanan. It's a 3-pitch strikeout for Cade Hansen. Good comeback after what was a tough inning for him in the second. Giving up 2 runs as well as 4 free passes. So now it's Davis Gillespie. Popped out to the catcher Buchanan in foul territory back in the first inning. Looks at strike 1. But Aiden, he's been on a really good run so far, riding on a 3-game streak of 2 hits in each game.
It's just really been a bright spot of this Southern Miss offense as we see him lift one there.
He skies one into straightaway right field, and under it is Brady Janusek and makes the catch for out number 2.
Something that we've seen right now for Cade Hansen, gotten 2 outs, really quick innings so far. But this is where it started to get a little tough for him last time versus Dre Barrett. And so continuing that type of consistency that he's had with the first 4 batters into this part of the lineup is crucial.
Big swing and a miss from Barrett, who walked to lead off the second inning, came around to score on the Lawson Odom walk. Yeah, and this is very reminiscent of the first inning where he got 2 really quick outs. That's another swing and a miss, but the chance at a 1-2-3 inning in the first were broken up by a Russo single. But now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. And a good chance for Cade Hansen. Pitch misses just outside.
And that's something that we've seen a lot today. Just a couple of those pitches just barely outside for Cade Hansen.
This is in the same spot once again with the fastball.
That's something he's going to have to change, as though like he might be thinking, hey, maybe if I pitch right here, they'll chase it. It just hasn't worked today.
2-2. Jammed up and fouled the other way. Fain's trying to get out of that ball's path. The count stays the same, 2 outs. Middle infielder's feet on the outfield grass. 2-2. Another foul ball, this time going straight back. We've seen a couple of these foul balls that go back. They go over the protective netting and then kind of hit one of the advertisements above the suite level here at Dell Diamond and kind of come back. Fans always having to watch their head. This one is hit down the right field line, twisting, and it's down in the right field corner. Barrett heading for second. He has himself a 2-out double.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. A lot of these Southern Miss players hitting it into that right field area, but just going foul. But they're finally able to get one down. And as we just saw, it can be deadly. Getting a double now, even though 2 outs, getting somebody on base. And mentally for Cade Hansen, it's starting all over again. Last inning, it was a walk for Dre Barrett, but now a double.
So Hansen will have to go another inning on that search for a 1-2-3 inning. This first pitch gets called for a strike to Morrison, who got hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning. Now with the chance to extend his team's lead to 3, runner in scoring position. This one a ground ball, and it goes fair. A tough path, and Tice Armstrong unable to make the play, and we're going to see a replay because it was going down the first base line. It was twisting foul, and then it looked like it just came back fair. It took such an odd path. And it crossed up Tice Armstrong, who was reaching to his left and had a twist over to his right. Was able to stop the ball, which did save a run, but it does put runners on the corners.
But even in that moment, too, it almost looked like Armstrong he picked the ball up, but just already thinking somebody was at first, but he still had time if he wanted to throw it to first and potentially get the out.
Gets the called strike on that first pitch to Caleb Stelly.
That's something we've seen the last 3 at-bats is Hansen has started them off well, all with strikes, but it just doesn't end well for Hansen.
We've seen Southern Miss not swing at a lot of these first pitch strikes. Just a little too low on the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. With Dre Barrett on third, Kyle Morrison on first. Here's a pitch from Hansen. Right down the middle, gets no swing, and it's strike 2.
Something you might want to implement if you're Baylor is shading some of these players towards the right side, because today that's where the majority of the hits have come from for Southern Miss.
Infield shaded a little bit more to the pull side as this one swung on and laced foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Hansen throws. Popped up, and it'll find its way into the seats. Caleb Stelly staying alive despite being down in the count. This is the kind of stuff that we've been talking about we want to see from Baylor, right? Even if you're down in the count with 2 strikes, being able to foul off a couple pitches can change the whole at-bat. That one's a called third strike. And Cade Hansen started off this inning strong, gave up back-to-back hits, but strands the runners on the corners and keeps us at a 2-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting. Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
The lineup car turns over for the first time today for Baylor as Brady Janusek steps into the right-handed batter's box. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning. First pitch he sees from McCarty English is at face level, ball 1. English not wasting time. Here's the pitch. Misses high once again.
Something we talked about, just going to keep harping on until something changes, is really needing some more aggressiveness from this Baylor offense. As there, we see another strike where Brady Janusek was just looking at it.
So now it's 2-1. Janusek not swinging the bat yet. Here's the pitch. Misses low, but and now he's in a hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Trying to continue some of that momentum the Bears had early last inning. That's ball 4. So Janusek is aboard. Second straight inning, the leadoff hitter for the Bears reaches via the walk.
And a lot of walks so far in this game. 7 total between these two teams through the bottom of the third.
So now Reebok up to bat. He's reached base 4 times this weekend, 3 times on singles, 1 time on a walk in the first inning yesterday. Pitch is a little too high. Lawson Odom telling his pitcher to calm down, find the zone, move that fastball down a couple inches. He's missed in that same area, just above the zone over the last couple pitches. Throw over to first, and Janusek back in time.
A very different story in that case for the two pitchers, with English, a lot of his balls coming from the top of the zone, and then for Hansen going towards the lower right.
Another pickoff attempt to first, unsuccessful. Janusek 4 for 6 on stolen bases this season. He went 1 for 2 yesterday, had a stolen base in the 5th, got caught stealing in the 9th. And no call on that fastball. 2 balls, no strikes to Pearson Reebok. The pitch from English. Up and away. Odom leaping at that ball, trying to make sure Janusek stays close to first base.
And you can start to see now that aggressiveness from Janusek on first, really creating some tension for this Southern Miss team.
And that one called a strike, finds that high and outside corner.
Because as we've talked about, this Baylor team is a threat on the base pass as they've had the most stolen bases throughout this tournament.
Another throw over to first. Close play, but still to no avail. Another throw over to first. That's the 5th one in this at-bat. 4 pitches have been thrown to Pearson Reebok so far. And here's the 3-1. And that's ball 4. Good fake out by Brady Janusek. Looked like he was starting to go for a steal and then stopped as Lawson Odom launched that ball to second base, but Janusek will get to second anyways. Back-to-back walks put runners on first and second. As that'll do it for McCarty. English going only 2 innings. And now throwing 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. Has not given up a hit yet, but that'll be his afternoon, as we'll step aside for a few moments and we'll come back with the new pitcher for Southern Miss. And this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
The new pitcher in for Southern Miss, the right-handed junior transfer from Tennessee, Thomas Crabtree from Collierville, Tennessee, making his second appearance on the season. Pitched a week ago against UC Santa Barbara. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits. He gets a swing and a miss from Travis Sanders.
Lone hit a home run versus UC Santa Barbara.
So now we'll inherit runners on first and second with no outs. Travis Sanders struck out looking back in the first inning. That pitch low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sanders.
And as we talked about, Sanders just has to get going, as yesterday started the day off with 2 strikeouts and cannot be starting today the same way.
Big swing and a miss way out in front of that 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball. So he's down in the count 1-2. Sanders does have an RBI this weekend. Had the game-tying RBI double in the 8th inning on Friday night. The pitch, swing and a miss. Sanders down on strikes for the second time today. And that's strikeout number 7 for him on the weekend.
And as you can see, Crabtree is very different from a lot of these relief pitchers that we've seen throughout the weekend. Not a guy that comes from a D3 or a guy that comes from, NAIA, but a guy that comes from a school like Tennessee. And so he's used to this type of atmosphere, unlike a lot of the pitchers that Baylor has faced.
He'll throw back to second. Now, Crabtree did, at one point in his career, pitch for community college, was at Pearl River Community College as a freshman, where he became the first pitcher in program history to eclipse 100 strikeouts since 2008 with his 105. That one in at the knees to Tice Armstrong. No balls, 1 strike.
And Armstrong still looking for that elusive first hit of this tournament.
So it'll be a great time to do it. Runner in scoring position. Still no swing. This pitch misses low and away.
As you can see, a lot of these, even though that Tice Armstrong's watching the ball go in, there's a lot of movement with his bat where he's almost going to that check swing or doing a check swing.
Out of the stretch, the 1-1. Doesn't swing, was thinking about it, but didn't go around, and it's a called strike. And just another example of Baylor keeping that bat on their shoulders. They're not swinging, and it doesn't seem like they're really trying to swing at any of these pitches. That one misses away.
And as you talked about, if you're Baylor, you really can't be waiting for this type of perfect ball to come in to where you can hit a home run or hit a double. It's never going to get there. These pitchers are too good at this level to really give you a perfect pitch like that.
2-2. Fouls it off the end of his bat, trying to stay alive.
This is just another opportunity for Baylor. Last inning, having bases loaded and now having a runner in scoring position at second. You can't waste an opportunity like this 2 innings in a row.
Throw back to second, a little high, but Caleb Stelly able to come down with it, keep the ball in the infield. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouls another one this time. Hits it high and straight back. So now Tice Armstrong starting to swing that bat. Put some of the pressure on Crabtree, saying, hey, if you leave me one over the plate, I can make contact. I can barrel this one up and change this ball game. 2-2. Another dribbler goes foul.
You're right. It's about making that aggressiveness known that you will swing at these pitches if they are presented, and really just getting in the pitcher's head so that they don't relax during your at-bat.
Yeah, 'cause a lot of these pitchers this weekend have felt pretty relaxed against Baylor, feeling like they can just throw the ball wherever. As this one is hit high down the right field line, racing is Higdon, and it twists just foul.
Because now, even though that these have been multiple foul balls in a row, it's keeping him in this at-bat.
So what started out as not a lot of movement coming from Armstrong in the beginning of the at-bat has turned into a tough battle between him and Crabtree. Here's another 2-2. This one ripped down the left field line, and just a little too early this time.
I think that's the best contact we've seen Tice Armstrong make all of this tournament. And, during this at-bat, getting a little bit more comfortable with getting his bat out there, so it'll be interesting to see what he does for the rest of this at-bat.
Here's the pitch from Crabtree. Skips this one in the dirt, blocked by Odom. So it'll be a full count with 1 out. Runners on first and second.
But you can even see that foul ball from Armstrong maybe scared Crabtree a little bit, and that ball being really low as to not get it anywhere near Armstrong.
Reebok on second. 3 for 3 on stolen bases. Double steal, but it's ball 4. And Tice Armstrong is pumped up, yelling at his dugout, trying to get him going as the bases are now loaded with 1 out.
And now this is it for Baylor. Second straight inning. Bases loaded. The question is, are they going to be able to capitalize? Hunter Snow was almost a hero versus Oregon State. almost getting a home run to right field, but was robbed.
Hunter Snow looks at strike one. Fastball on the inner half. So there's now been 5 walks given up by Southern Miss pitching. This one swing and a miss by Hunter Snow way out in front. Not a very competitive swing right there.
That's what you've seen, too, is a lot of the swing and misses from this Baylor team. It's not like there's full commitment to the swing, and it's very slow in its pace.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the offering. Skips in, blocked by Odom. Odom's really had to work in this inning. A lot of pitches in the dirt, and he's had to block. This is low, backhanded by Odom. Snow was down 0-2, now has worked his way to a 2-2 count. Janusek on third, Reebok on second, Armstrong the runner on first. Infield at double play depth. And that one hits him in the thigh, and that brings in the first Baylor run of the ball game.
And now that it is the second straight inning that Hunter Snow has been hit by a pitch, and I'm sure that he's happy that he's getting on base. He would sure like it to be another way.
So 4th free pass in this inning, and the 7th one in the last 2 innings by Southern Miss pitching between McCarty English and now Thomas Crabtree. So Brighton Clements, who had a bunt that he was thrown out on in the 2nd inning, he fouls one back.
There you go. That's that aggressiveness on the first pitch that we were talking about. Getting that contact early and setting that tone for the entire at-bat.
Righty on righty matchup. Bases still loaded with 1 out. Clements lifts one down the right field line, but Higdon will run out of room as it goes foul. So now, no balls, 2 strikes for Clements. Both him and Crabtree are set. Here's the pitch. Called third strike, and Brighton Clements started off aggressive with 2 straight foul balls, just watches that third pitch go by, and he has to walk back to his own dugout.
It really started off well, setting the tone of the at-bat well, and then just ending up looking at that. And really, as much as it was nice to have a run for Baylor to get that walk in, they need to start getting some hits to the point where they can drive 2 of these runners in and not just wait for the pitcher to make a mistake and have a walk.
Ewens fouls one to the backstop on the first pitch. Ewens walked in the 2nd inning. That was to load the bases. Eventually got stranded in place. The 0-1. Another hard foul ball that goes straight back. Ewens down in the count 0-2, and Crabtree seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Hoping to only give up 1 run.
And that would really be a miracle by the Southern Miss team to have 2 straight innings of bases loaded and only allow 1 run.
That one misses low and away, and it skips away from Odom, but not enough for Pearson Reebok to advance. And so Baylor's lone run does go on to McCarty English's stat line. Doesn't go against Crabtree. The 1-2. Called third strike, paints the low and outside corner, and the Bears, for the second straight inning, strand the bases loaded, but this time they do drive in 1 run on an RBI hit by pitch from Hunter Snow. But the Bears still trail 2-1 as we head to the 4th inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
So the Southern Miss Golden Eagles catching another break in the last half inning. Did give up 1 run, but stranded the bases loaded after they were loaded with 1 out, and the back-to-back looking Ks from the Bears as this one lined, twisting to foul, and right out of the reach of Brady Janusek, who had a beat on that ball and just couldn't quite come down with it.
As we've seen a lot today, a lot of these hits by both teams, and primarily Southern Miss, has been towards that right side of the diamond.
Odom fouls one straight back. So the 1 run that the Bears score does go against McCarty English, whose stat line finishes like this. 2 innings pitched, 1 run given up on 0 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit by pitch. As Odom barely gets a piece of that one and hits it foul. Just scraped off the top of his bat. So he's down in the count 0-2. Hansen deals. Doesn't connect with the breaking ball, and that's ball 1.
And we've seen Hansen has the ability to get these quick outs in these innings. It's just, it seems that he gets in these ruts with 1 player and then.
Chopper to first, and Armstrong will take a step to his left and take it to the bag himself as there's 1 gone here in the top of the 4th.
And it just seems that he'll get in these ruts with 1 player, and, you know, as we saw, it was Dre Barrett 2 times, and really just continuing that same type of consistency throughout the entire lineup for Hansen.
This one a line drive right over the head of Sanders into left center field, and it's going to be a 1-out single for Seth Smith. We had a sac fly to center field in the 2nd inning. As right now the difference between the Bears and the Golden Eagles in a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, Seth Smith been able to get really good contact today, even on that sacrifice fly, was hit really well.
So Ben Higdon, who's 0 for 2 today, steps into the left-handed batter's box with the runner on first. Ground ball straight back for a foul ball.
This is where Hansen, like I was saying, has seen the most success today versus this lineup for Southern Miss.
The 0-1 from Hansen. Missing low and inside on the slider.
So as you look back, you see Higdon 0 for 2, and then Urban 0 for 2 as well to start off this game at the top of Southern Miss's lineup.
Higdon now 2 for 23 on the season. This one, line drive that hits off of Hansen. He collects it and tosses it underhand to first to retire Higdon for the third time today.
And that was a great reaction by Hansen, as that was straight to him and kind of had to take a second to realize what had just happened, but was able to recover quickly and get the second out of this inning.
Yeah, and he doesn't look shaken up at all. We'll see on this replay, it got him right in the glove. Luckily, it got him in the glove and not in the body. I think it was Caden Baker who got nailed by a line drive yesterday. Now runner on second, paints that low and outside corner to Joey Urban for strike one.
Joey Urban had been doing really well coming into this game, but so far really struggling against Hansen.
The 0-1 blocked by Braden Buchanan.
Something that has been easier for Hansen today, as well as not having that threat from Southern Miss of stealing any bases.
This is same spot with another slider. 2 balls, 1 strike to Urban. And I know whenever anybody asks a coach, what are you thinking about the schedule up ahead? They always say, we're thinking about this one game. But I think the Bears also really want to get this win. One, just to win, but also to get some confidence heading into a really tough schedule next weekend as Urban fouls one off. If this weekend's hard, well, next weekend when they go to Daikin Park in Houston, they've got Ole Miss on Friday, Texas on Saturday, and then UTSA on Sunday. 3 teams that are extremely difficult and hard to get out. This one laced into right field, and it's down, heading to the corner. Heading for home is Smith, and he will score easily. It's an RBI single for Joey Urban. Continuing a great weekend.
And that's something that this Baylor team has to start to sort of shift their defensive positioning to, and I think they should bring in everybody towards the right side of the field and bring the right fielder in closer, as all of these hits today have shaded towards that side and have been lower right between the second base and right field areas.
And it's Urban heading for second, and he is safe. And it's the Golden Eagles' first stolen base of the season.
Well, I was saying earlier, really, the base pass has not been a threat from the Golden Eagles, now getting their first one, and this might really start to add even more pressure on top of Hansen.
Big swing and a miss from Matthew Russo. 1 ball, 1 strike to the big lefty.
And you were completely right, Jeffrey, talking about the upcoming schedule, but also just the fact that, had such big momentum at the beginning of the year, winning 4 in a row, and to have a string of losses like this one would just be devastating.
Russo fouls one to his dugout. I think this is a big wake-up call more than anything for the Bears, especially for these young guys, as now they're really starting to see some of the best of the best. Some of these teams, they faced one of the best pitchers in the nation. They're going to face some of the best teams in the nation. They did this week, and they're going to next weekend as well as they head into conference play. This one, hard ground ball up the middle, and it's into center field. Running for home is Urban. The throw is in time. Tip your cap to Ty Johnson as he nails Joey Urban at home and keeps it at a 3-1 ball game. And there's some talking here. And the umpires are going to have a meeting. That was Christian Ostrander, the head coach of Southern Miss, talking to home plate umpire John Brammer.
And if that stands, that throw from Ty Johnson was incredible, as I don't think anybody within Dell Diamond was thinking that that was going to be an out and it was going to put Baylor down even more. But if this stands, that will be such a pivotal part of this game for Baylor and just getting them out of this inning.
They have not signaled for a review yet, and now they do, so we'll get a review.
Which is nothing new for Baylor over these past couple of days, as there has been several stoppages between the Purdue and Oregon State games to look back at some of these sequences.
Yeah, when we looked at the initial play, the ball had definitely beaten Urban to the plate. So I think it was a matter of whether Buchanan held onto it, made a good tag, or I think they have an argument if he's blocking that plate, but he has the ball there before any contact is made. So I think if the argument is that he was blocking the plate, then this play should stand. Because Buchanan can stand anywhere once he has the ball, and he's got it right there before any contact is made.
That's definitely the argument by the Southern Miss head coaches. Really, there is nothing else there, and I think it's just that such a short sequence between him getting the ball and Urban arriving, and so that's what they're really having to see is, did it arrive before Urban got there? Excuse me. And now it looks like they've made a decision.
And the call is upheld, and Ty Johnson with the highlight throw. And Southern Miss fans don't like that, but it's the right call, and it's a 3-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Leading things off for the Bears, Braden Buchanan. Bears put up one run their last time up to the plate.
There's been all missed opportunities so far today, as even though Baylor has gotten a run, having the bases loaded twice and only having one run to show for it is definitely not what Mitch Thompson wants.
As this one is lifted high down the left field line, but it'll go out of play. Buchanan popped up on the middle of the infield, caught by Matthew Russo back in the second inning. That pitch catches the inner third for a strike.
Just one of those pitches where Baylor players just watching and not even moving their bat on these strikes.
We got to give some credit to the Southern Miss pitching. That was a well-placed pitch right there. As that one misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And while we've talked about some of the woes in terms of aggressiveness for Baylor, like you said, this Southern Miss pitching staff has done pretty well today.
Hard ground ball up the middle, and it finds its way into center field. Braden Buchanan is aboard with a leadoff single, and that's the Bears' first base hit of the afternoon.
And that's just such a surprising stat there, Jeffrey, as we're in the bottom of the 4th and they have just gotten their first hit of the day.
They reached 5 times on a walk, twice on a hit by pitch. Both those were Hunter Snow. So now maybe things are starting to change for this lineup as Bo Caraway steps into the left-handed batter's box. He shows bunt, pops it up way too high, and Thomas Crabtree able to make the catch.
Great awareness there by Crabtree as he was able to get that out. And, you know, as I was talking about earlier, you know, this Southern Miss pitching staff today being faced with so many stressful situations, but really taking advantage of the lack of aggressiveness from Baylor and able to maintain this lead so far.
That'll bring up Brady Janusek, 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first, walked and scored in the third. First pitch way outside, ball 1. Janusek came into today with a .300 average, 6 for 20, 4 RBIs, and 4 runs. That pitch way too high, doesn't get a swing from Janusek. That's 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, runner on first.
And Janusek, just one of several of these very young players for Baylor, as they have 4 freshmen total in their lineup.
Doesn't swing at that strike, and Janusek not a big fan of the call. But it's 2-1 now. Crabtree deals. He gets called a strike at the knees, and 4 pitches in, and Brady Janusek has not swung the bat yet. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
As we've seen so far, a lot of these at-bats for Crabtree, you know, he's not getting Baylor players out quickly, as a lot of these do really turn into chess matches.
2-2 pitch. Foul tip caught by Lawson Odom, and Janusek down on strikes for the second time today.
And both of them, it seems like Janusek just gets aggressive way too late in the at-bat, as both of them, he's gone down swinging in these strikeouts and just needing to bring up that aggressiveness. And I know we keep saying the word aggressiveness, but needing to bring that in earlier in the at-bat.
Yeah, and I don't think he's the only one. I think that's kind of infected this entire lineup. As Reebok takes some initiative, swings, but doesn't make any contact on the first pitch. The 0-1 from Crabtree. missing just below the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
As you talked about, it seems that it has really affected a lot of the lineup, but you look at, it seems that Pearson Reebok has been one of the few players that hasn't been affected by this.
As this one hit high down the left field line. 3 players converging, but it goes into the stands for a foul ball. That'll make it a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Because as we talked about in that Oregon State game, the only player to really get multiple hits and then carry the same success into yesterday's game, and so far in this game, having a walk and then having a pop fly, but really still getting contact with the ball.
This pitch called a strike at the knees, and Lawson Odom pumping his fist as the Bears go down looking for the 4th time today. And it's the 7th time they've struck out in 4 innings. They still trail 3-1. And this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
New pitcher in for the Bears. It's the right-handed junior out of Katy, Texas, and the Dallas Baptist transfer Charlie Atkinson, making his 2nd appearance on the season. Through 2 scoreless innings on Tuesday against Texas State. Gave up 1 hit while striking out 2 Bobcats. Now hoping to keep the Southern Miss offense at bay. His first pitch gets a check swing call, went around.
Davis Gillespie trying to extend that 2-hit per game streak, as today has not gotten a hit yet. This Baylor pitching staff just trying to get to how things were in the first inning. Quick outs and really just ending things quickly as strikeout there.
Yeah, gets the called strike against Davis Gillespie, sends him down on strikes. That's the 2nd time Southern Miss has gone down looking. Now that brings up Dre Barrett, who's reached twice. Walked and came around to score in the second, and then hit a double in the third. The pitch is too high for ball one.
Yeah, Barrett really been a disruptor today, especially earlier in the game for Hansen, as Hansen looked like he was moving with no problem and then hit Barrett. Just slowed all of his momentum.
And Barrett, well, last year, not lighting up the stat sheet. Golden Eagles were 39-11 in his 50 starts, as that one skips in, and it's 3 balls, no strikes.
Can definitely see a little bit of the hesitancy pitching against Barrett, considering the sort of day that he's had so far.
And it's a 4-pitch walk. So kind of some polar opposite plate appearances for Charlie Atkinson. Striking out Davis Gillespie looking, and then a 4-pitch walk to Dre Barrett. That'll bring up Kyle Morrison, who's reached twice, hit by a pitch and a single. Also has himself a run.
This has been the test for a lot of these Baylor relief pitchers, is they always start off the first at-bat so strong, and then it just teeters off after that.
Big swing and a miss. Morrison way out ahead of the breaking ball. Swinging a light blue and bright orange bat. The 0-1 from Atkinson. Hard ground ball past Armstrong into right field. Barrett going first to third. And so a single puts the runners on the corners with 1 out.
And just again, another hit to that right side of the field, and Baylor still not shading the infield towards that side. And that's really got to be an adjustment that they make at some point, as you know, Tice Armstrong almost made the catch there, but just too far out of reach.
The wind blowing towards first base. Doesn't find the zone in that first pitch to Caleb Stelly. Walked in the second, struck out looking to end the third. Now with a chance to extend the lead, runners on the corners, 1 out. Swing and a miss, got him with the off speed, 82 miles an hour. So far, for Atkinson, the best thing he's done is get these hitters off their timing with the breaking ball. Has induced a couple of really early swings.
And that's been a real positive in these at-bats, and really, as we talked about, just trying to get back to how successful that first at-bat was. And you can see Braden Buchanan, when he gets those type of strikes that get these players to swing early, just telling him that that's what he needs to keep doing, giving him that confidence and that motivation.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one popped up, and it'll go out of play.
A lot of lucky fans today getting a lot of foul balls as they all are going towards the seating.
The 1-2. Soft ground ball to third. Tossing it to second for 1. Over to first. Beats him, and it's a 5-4-3 double play. As the Golden Eagles get some traffic on the base paths, but can't cash in, as it stays a 3-1 ball game. Halfway through the 5th inning, this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Bears looking for some more offense as Travis Sanders, who has struck out twice today, will start things off. Tice Armstrong has walked twice. He's on deck, and Hunter Snow has been hit twice, is in the hole. Crabtree back on the mound. Misses with that first pitch, 1-0.
For Sanders, it's been almost the exact same story as yesterday, looking at a strikeout and then swinging at one. And so this is where he turned it around yesterday, and we'll see if he can do the same here.
Missing the zone with another pitch, 2 balls and no strikes, no outs, nobody on. We are halfway through this ball game, bottom of the 5th now. Gets that low and outside corner with a fastball. That's strike 1.
Now this is where Baylor needs to take advantage. Southern Miss kind of slowing down when it comes to offense, and this is Baylor's chance.
2-1. Misses low. And what's interesting about some of these at-bats, so we talk about how Baylor has not been swinging a whole lot, but at least with Thomas Crabtree, a lot of these at-bats start out with a couple balls. So they start in the batter's favor, kind of lull them into kind of a trance at the plate, and then they don't swing. But this time, Sanders will not have to swing as he'll reach on a 5-pitch walk.
And you're definitely right. It's very much a different type of story for these teams. Is what happens for Baylor is they'll get 2 strikes really quickly, and then slowly they'll throw a couple balls, and then it'll get up to a full count. But with Southern Miss, you have that to where start out with maybe 2-1, and then suddenly it becomes 3-1, and now it's 3-2, and then they end up being struck out.
So Tice Armstrong up to bat, the throw over to first, and the call is safe, and it looks like we'll get a review as Matthew Russo was very adamant that they got Travis Sanders out at first. So be a quick review, and here's the play, and very close. We don't really get a good look at when Sanders hits the bag, but from that first angle, looks like Southern Miss is a very good case.
Even Crabtree was putting his hands on his head in disbelief, and as you said, Matthew Russo was very adamant that he got him out, almost jumping up and down and screaming for a review. And as we get a replay right here in the booth, it's hard to see Sanders' hand there from this specific angle they're showing us, but like you said, Jeffrey, there looks like there might be a case.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because with Russo's tag, it looks like he hits the dirt before he gets Sanders on the hand. Now, is he able to move his glove slightly to the left and tap Sanders on the wrist before he's able to touch the bag? I think that's going to be a really close call. It's kind of hard to see from this specific angle that we're getting. But if this does get overturned, this is the last thing that Baylor needs. Already struggling to get on base and drive guys in. So now if you're getting guys taken off the base paths, we're going to get our call. And the call is upheld.
Baylor getting 2 breaks today with Ty Johnson's throw, and then there with Travis Sanders. You know, those were 2 big calls, and really the reviews helping them out there, as it looks like Crabtree might be taken out or just being talked to.
So there is some movement going on in the bullpen. And there's a meeting on the mound for Southern Miss.
So Crabtree.
And Crabtree will be taken out of this ball game, so we'll have another pitching change for Southern Miss, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with a rundown on the new pitcher. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher in for Southern Miss, Ross Sibley. Senior lefty out of Summerall, Mississippi. Making his 4th appearance on the season. Giving up 3 runs in 5 innings. Throw over to first a little too late.
And Sibley been a mainstay on the Southern Miss roster his entire time in college. Last year, posting a 7-1 record in 22 appearances. Initially a starter, but transitioned into the bullpen last year.
Throw back to first, close play. But Sanders is returning safely.
So the Mets really wanting to get Sanders out there at first base.
First pitch to Armstrong. Paints that low and outside corner for strike one.
What'll be interesting is last time Tice Armstrong really started conservative in his at-bat versus Crabtree, but got really aggressive towards the end.
This is just a little outside. Same idea, same pitch. Tried to find that similar location, just couldn't find the zone there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Throw back to first, but Sanders gets back in standing up, not taking much of a lead right there.
He's creating some of that pressure on Sibley there at first base, taking his mind off of the at-bat with Armstrong.
Armstrong skies it foul. He's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sibley making his second appearance of the weekend. Didn't record an out on Friday against Purdue. Gave up 2 hits and a walk. And a call at third strike is Tice Armstrong frustrated with himself, as that is the 5th time today that a Baylor hitter has gone down looking. So now Hunter Snow comes up to bat, runner on first, 1 out.
Sibley starting off this inning well. Tice Armstrong, as we talked about, such a key part of this offense, still has not gotten a hit yet in this tournament.
Throw back to first, and Sanders returns standing up.
It's interesting, every time Sibley throws back to first base to try to get Sanders, it's not really a full commitment, almost just trying to make it known that he's watching and trying to discourage any base runners for Baylor.
And that one hits off the knob of Hunter Snow's bat. He also looked a little disappointed that it didn't hit him in the hand.
That would have been the 3rd hit by pitch consecutively today for Hunter Snow.
I don't know what he did to make these pitchers angry, but another pitch really far inside almost hits Snow. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
As we talked about, this Baylor team really does get a lot of hit by pitches, and not something that they would probably like, but something that does help them get on base.
That front door breaking ball finds the inner third for strike 2.
Sibley with a chance here to get 2 quick outs.
Hits the dirt, and it's blocked by Odom, who is ready to fire over to second, but Sanders stays at first.
Odom's been antsy today every time the ball has gotten in the dirt, just ready to fire it and try to tag a Baylor base runner out.
Trying to hype up his pitcher. Throw back over to first, but not particularly close. Sanders not having to slide.
Has to be almost upwards of 10 times now at least of Sibley throwing back to first.
The 2-2. And it hits Hunter Snow the third time he's been nailed by a pitch today. And he will take it, so that puts runners on first and second with one out. And that is now the 18th time that Baylor has been hit by a pitch. 15 coming into today, and Hunter Snow himself has added 3 to that tally.
Hunter Snow looking like he's unfazed after being hit hard 3 times today, and sure going to have some bruises once this game is over.
Yeah, and luckily for him, he didn't get hit by a fastball. Their 77-mile-an-hour slider. First pitch low and inside to Brighton Clements. 0 for 2. Struck out looking last time up.
Sibley really had a chance there to get these 2 outs and take the momentum to ending this inning, but now stuck in a little bit of a bind.
As this one is skied in a straightaway right field. Blocking the sun is Higdon with his glove. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Great job by Higdon using his glove to block the sun, as now that sun has shifted from left field earlier to where he was very potent to now shifting towards that right side and a little bit in center field.
And for Brighton Clements, now 0 for 3 today. All 3 times he's come up to bat has been with 2 or more runners on. Now it'll be John Ewens, who's walked and struck out looking today. Pops one up into foul territory. Barrett runs, but he has no more room as it goes foul.
As I said earlier, a lot of fans in attendance getting some free souvenirs courtesy of these Southern Miss and Baylor players.
No balls, 1 strike to Ewens. Here's the pitch. Low and away, good block by Odom. Trying to keep that ball in front of him. Keep the runners at the respective bases. So you know, if that ball starts to get away from the catcher, these runners are not afraid to make a break for it. One offering. Gets the strike call, low and outside corner.
And now here's another chance for Sibley to get the strike towards these Baylor players that have gone down looking several times today.
The pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Count's all tied up. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Kicks and deals. Called third strike and backwards K, number 6 for Southern Miss pitching. And the frustration continuing to mount for Baylor hitters as they continue to watch pitches fly by. They still trail 3 runs to 1 as we are through 5 on the Sunday afternoon game in Dell Diamond. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Eight, 9-1 due up for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Lawson Odom, Seth Smith, and Ben Higdon. First pitch to Odom, fouled to the right side. Odom 0 for 1 today. Hit into a 3-U ground out in the fourth, walked in a run in the second inning. It was the first of USM's 3 runs. This one hit in a straightaway right field. Brady Janusek, not much issue with that one. And puts it away for the first out of the inning. Now shade engulfing almost the entire infield, as well as most of left field. What's left in the sun, right and center field. So Janusek and Bo Caraway. This one a hard ground ball off the first base bag. Snagged by Armstrong. His toss to Atkinson in time. That's a quick out, number 2. So Ben Higdon, who's 0 for 3 today, and is right now 2 for 24 on the season. He stares at that first pitch, and he did not think about swinging at all. Did not even take a step. Just watch that ball fly by.
Ben Higdon struggled a lot during this tournament. And Ben just not getting much production from him in this part of the lineup.
Now 2 balls, no strikes to Higdon. 2 ground outs and a pop out in the second inning. This one driven down the left field line, but it goes out of play and foul.
Something that a lot of these teams, as we keep talking about, have done so well against Baylor is elongating these at-bats through hitting foul balls.
That pitch misses inside, so hitters count 3-1, 2 outs, and the bases are empty for Ben Higdon. First pitch was at 3:22 p.m. We are now at 5:27. Sun continues to set and casting its shadows. This one hit into deep left field towards the corner, and it is a fair ball. And it's a stand-up double for Ben Higdon with 2 outs, and it's his 3rd base hit of the season.
And that's exactly what you need if you're somebody like Ben Higdon, who has struggled in this tournament and throughout the entire season. Getting a great hit like that, not just a single, but a double for this Southern Miss team. Just such a great confidence booster.
So that'll bring up Joey Urban. Had an RBI single his last time up, stole second base. That was Southern Miss's first stolen base of the season, and then got thrown out at home by Bo Caraway. First pitch in for a strike.
Charlie Atkinson having a good inning so far, but this is where you can't let it get out of hand. With 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, and now you see he's going to get talked to.
Sean Snedeker and Braden Buchanan coming out. Facing Joey Urban, the senior Butler transfer last year with Southern Miss. Hit .333 with 9 doubles, as well as 9 home runs. He was named to the Hattiesburg All-Regional team. They're going 5 for 18, a pair of home runs and 5 RBIs. Continued with some of that momentum coming into this season. Had a hit in 5 of the 6 games coming into today, and an RBI in 4 of the 6 games.
And his standard's been relatively quiet today, even though getting the first stolen base of the season and a single. Looking for something more here at this at-bat.
Big swing and a miss. Urban out in front of that pitch.
Definitely see aggressive there, trying to get something going. Now with 2 strikes, Atkinson has a chance to end this inning.
Looks back to second. The 0-2 pitch. Doesn't get a swing from Urban, and it's a ball, 1-2.
Buchanan just keeping him encouraged, not wanting him to get this pitch count rising all the way to another full count situation like we've seen from this Baylor squad.
Same pitch, misses low and away. Doesn't get Joey Urban a chase.
Because that's the thing is, as you see right now, you know, it's really easy for these Baylor pitchers to get these first 2 strikes, but to actually get the strikeout fully has really been a difficulty for them.
Swing and a miss, foul tip caught by Braden Buchanan. And that'll retire the side and strand a runner at second. But the score remains the same. It's Southern Miss 3, Baylor 1. As we are halfway through the 6th inning, this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Sibley back on the mound for Southern Miss. Faced 4 batters in the 5th inning. Had 2 backwards Ks. Hit Hunter Snow, as Brian Clements also flew out to right field. This one a blooper into shallow center field, and it finds the grass right over Smith's head. And it's a leadoff single for Braden Buchanan. Back-to-back base hits for the Baylor catcher.
Braden Buchanan been a bright spot today for this Baylor team, as I believe he is the only Baylor player with hits today.
You are correct. That is a good assessment of Baylor's offensive woes today.
That's the type of spark you need, and now Bo Caraway just needs to take it into his at-bat.
Caraway over 2 shows bunt, pulls back. That's a called first strike.
Caraway had a great day defensively with that great throw from center field earlier, but offensively, just not a lot happening so far.
Shows bunt, pulls back, but just like last pitch, it finds the zone first strike, so Caraway down in the count 0-2. Freshman out of Cypress, Texas. Shows bunt another time, and this one goes just foul, and that'll be an out right there as he hits a bunt foul with 2 strikes. And I don't know what the idea was there that was going on with that decision. Do they just not have confidence in Bo Caraway, or what's going on? Was there a miscommunication? Because something you never do.
There's been a lot of moments during this tournament, though, where you have situations where there's 1 out, 0 outs, and a runner on first, and Baylor's just so desperate to get a base runner in scoring position that they just do bunts at very odd times and have not had great success, as you saw there.
Janusek doesn't give way to a high fastball for ball 1.
And that's been something they've tried a lot of, is having those bunts, but I think out of the handful of times they've had, it only worked maybe once or twice.
This fastball finds the zone at the knees, gets that lower portion. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first.
Like I said with Caraway, this is the moment to try to take that momentum that Braden Buchanan was trying to build and just get this offense going.
Pitch misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Baylor today 0 for 12 with runners on base. They're 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That's a fly ball into right field, and Ben Higdon camping under it makes the catch for the second out. You're in the the bottom of the 6th.
And now you're at 2 outs and only a runner at first base, not even in scoring position. And so this Baylor offense just really in a difficult position here because you're so close to this inning being over with the 2 outs and still wanting to maintain your aggressiveness and try to get something going as you head into these later innings.
Fastball misses outside for ball 1 to Pearson Reebok. And outside of yesterday against Zach Erdman and early in that game against Purdue, this offense really hasn't had an answer for any of the pitchers that they face this weekend as Reebok fouls that ball to the backstop.
Reebok here needs to just, as I said, he's been one of the bright spots being aggressive, but in his last at-bat, struck out looking, and so needs to just return to that aggressiveness.
Pitch downstairs for a ball. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Braden Buchanan stands on first base. Led this inning off with a single. As this one is skied into deep right field, backing up is Higdon, and he makes the catch a few steps before the warning track as the Bears Strand a leadoff single. They fail to score once again. They trail 3-1 as we are through 6 innings in the final game of the Round Rock Classic in 2026. And you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Atkinson back out for a 3rd inning of work. Giving up 2 hits and a walk, but no runs yet. Struck out a pair as his first pitch to Matthew Russo misses up and away. Finds the lower portion of the zone this time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This game been really reversal for the pitching staff, with relieving being the positive so far and starters kind of letting Baylor down.
Matthew Russo took a big swing, couldn't make contact with the slider. He's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Atkinson. Skips in and gets away from Buchanan. That's ball 2.
You can see right now, especially in these last couple pitches, Atkinson going at a really fast pace, trying to keep the batter on their toes.
Fouls this ball straight back. Trying to stay alive.
As I was saying earlier, really Atkinson been a bright spot as a reliever today.
That fastball misses a little too high.
Kind of stopped the bleeding that happened from those early innings with Hansen, and has kind of kept things steady as the Baylor offense has continued to struggle.
Russo barely makes contact. The ball goes off the end of his bat and foul. Last season, Russo for the Golden Eagles started all 63 games at first bases. He rips this one towards his dugout. Some major power threat. Finished 2nd in the Sun Belt Conference with 18 home runs. This one ripped into left field, and it gets by Hunter Snow, who tried to make the diving catch as it rolls all the way to the wall. But Matthew Russo will settle for a double. That's his 3rd base hit of the game, and now has 4 total bases.
And Hunter Snow there just looking like he was a little confused as to whether he was going to take that dive or do a slide, and so kind of caught in between those 2 moves. Let the ball got through, and now a runner in scoring position for Southern Miss, and some pressure for Charlie Atkinson here.
And we've seen throughout this weekend just a couple of balls finding some awkward spots in left field, as this one ripped, and it goes foul as a fan trying to make a catch with his bare hand. Couldn't quite come up with it, but a valiant effort nonetheless.
Yeah, looked like he was very confident at the beginning he was going to be able to catch that, but as it got closer, took his hand away.
And a half-hearted swing from Gillespie went around. That's strike two. That was not a soft line drive. That was hard going the other way. So his hand's going to be stinging for a couple minutes. Here's the 0-2 from Atkinson. Blocked by Buchanan. Low for a ball.
Gillespie still looking for his first hit of the day, as we talked about earlier several times. He's been a consistent part of this lineup, having 2 hits in multiple games, but today hasn't seen much action.
The 1-2. Can't quite get the strike. So Baylor fans not taking that call too kindly. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering from Atkinson. Hard line drive snagged on a hop. And a throw over to first to Tice Armstrong. And a great play by Brighton Clemens. Spearing a hard line drive and making the throw over to first to get the first out of the inning.
And that was a great throw, and almost had a chance there and to throw out the runner at second, but ultimately made the right decision, got the out. Now making some progress towards getting this inning over for Baylor.
As Barrett turns on that first pitch and fouls it the opposite way. Righty on righty matchup. Barrett has reached all 3 times he's come to the plate. 2 walks and then doubled in the third. Teammate Matthew Russo on second. Atkinson's pitch misses away.
As he talked about, Barrett with the 2 walks and the double, been virtually pitch perfect today, and such a spark plug for this offense, as his walk early in this game is what got the scoring for Southern Miss going.
Skips this one in the dirt. Another block made by Braden Buchanan. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Dre Barrett. Runner in scoring position. This one, a hard ground ball up the middle into center field. Matthew Russo, not much of a speed threat, stays on third. So there'll be runners on the corners with 1 out as Southern Miss now improves to 4-10 today with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Matthew Russo not wanting to take the chance to go to home, as earlier did not work for Southern Miss, and as they were thrown out.
So Mitch Thompson will make the trek out to the mound, and looks like Baylor will make the call to the bullpen. So we'll have a new Baylor arm coming into this ball game. Bears trailing 3-1. You're in the top of the 7th. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
And the Bears go to the junior lefty, Mason Green, making his third appearance on the season. First pitch called a strike to Kyle Morrison.
His third appearance on the season. His first two outings this year versus New Mexico State and Texas State. 3 innings pitched and 2 runs allowed and had 5 total strikeouts.
Slider misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Morrison, who's reached base 3 times today. Pair of singles and got hit by a pitch in the second inning.
Green is a guy who's had a lot of appearances over the last 2 years for Baylor and really trying to make his name known and get promoted to that starting position.
That pitch missed way upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Kind of fell out of that Sunday starter spot last year after he was out for the first 2 months of last season. Another pitch up and inside. He did make 7 starts in 2025, pitched 18 1/3 innings, 4.91 ERA. Swing and a miss. Morrison goes around on the check swing, and the count runs full. 1 out, runners on the corners. Both runners will be attributed to Atkinson. The pitch. And he misses the zone, not by much, and the walk will load the bases.
And just looks like, you know, coming out here, Green is having not a lot of control on his pitches, is just kind of all over the place and looking like at the end, not a full motion for him, as having a player sub in to hit for Caleb Stelly.
It's William Tonsmeyer coming in for Caleb Stelly. This one a hard ground ball to short, tosses it to second for 1 and over to first for the double play. And a much needed double play for the Baylor defense, hoping to turn the tides as they get out of a bases loaded jam. As we head to the 7th inning stretch, Bears down 3-1. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
So we are now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Travis Sanders hoping to light a spark in this Baylor offense. He walked to lead off the 5th inning after striking out the first 2 times today. First pitch low, gets away from Odom.
Like we said, in the last outing versus Purdue, had those first 2 strikeouts, but after that was able to pick it up and while not getting a hit, had a walk, and so that could have been the difference maker in taking his momentum from getting those strikeouts to getting on base.
Big swing and a miss, way out ahead of that 85-mile-an-hour pitch. This one, ground ball to third, speared by Barrett. His throw in time to beat Sanders. That's out number 1. That's the first time that Sanders this weekend has put a ball into play that has not been a base hit. The only times he's gotten out have been via the strikeout. He's struck out 7 times, has had 3 base hits and a walk. Now adds a ground out. First pitch gets the inner third to Tice Armstrong.
And now Tice Armstrong, as we'll continue to talk about, still looking for that elusive first hit in this tournament.
He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, walked twice. Pops one up. Odom gives it a look, but realizes that one's out of the field of play.
Like we said, there's just been multiple opportunities and positions that Tice Armstrong has been in to really jumpstart this offense, and right now is another one of those opportunities with Baylor, as we said, only having 2 hits today, and both of them coming from Braden Buchanan.
Non-competitive pitch, up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tice Armstrong. 1 out, nobody on base. This one a hard ground ball, and it finds its way into left field. Tice Armstrong with the 1-out single, and he finds that first base hit here in Round Rock.
Now that is exactly what Baylor needed, getting somebody like him on base, getting that hit, getting the confidence up, and now you have Hunter Snow, which will, interesting if he can take that momentum into this at-bat, or, you know, maybe another hit by pitch and force, it'll make it 4 straight, but just needing to continue that momentum as have 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
First pitch to him, upstairs for a ball. His second time getting hit today. Drove in the only Baylor run so far. Bears 1 run on 3 hits. Southern Miss 3 runs on 10 hits. The 1-0. Foul tip goes back.
And Hunter Snow really hasn't had a chance today to really get any type of contact, as, you know, having those hit by pitches, but a lot of these at-bats that he's been in have been very close and to the inside, to where it's almost like every single one has a chance of hitting him.
Sibley gets set, and he deals. This time low and away. As you said, Snow has seen a lot of inside pitches, whether they've hit him or not, but now Sibley trying to change up the angle, has missed towards the outside part a couple times in this at-bat. Here's the 2-1. Hard ground ball to second. Tossed to second for one. Over to first. A 4-6-3 double play. And it erases the Tice Armstrong single as the Bears are still being held to 1 run through 7 innings. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
So now a new hitter coming in for Lawson Odom. It's the redshirt junior catcher Tucker Stockman.
Baylor just needing to keep this defense the way it's been these past couple innings, and now it looks like Southern Miss trying to change up their lineup as they did so many times last year with 36 lineup changes.
Now big swing and a miss from Stockman. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Another high fastball, check swing. Appeal over to first, and Blake Felix says no swing. Stockman last season played in 56 games with 52 starts as he takes another big hack. Can't make any contact. Batted .332 last season, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. Foul tip, just stays alive.
I've seen some time in this tournament as well, having 4 at-bats so far. Only having 1 hit, though, but that hit did turn into an RBI as well.
Another foul ball, this time straight back to the netting.
Mason Green just can't get into what has happened to all these other Baylor pitchers, getting these at-bats going forever. And
that's a big swing and a miss right there from Stockman.
Right there, it does exactly that, getting the strikeout, starting off this inning well, and it's really pivotal to get Baylor back on offense and really just switch the momentum up.
So Mason Green, who's back out on the mound after walking Kyle Morrison and then getting a 6-4-3 double play. First pitch to Seth Smith, called a strike. So now the whole field completely shaded. Sun will not be an issue. Gets another called strike, this time on the outer third.
And Seth Smith, really the guy who opened up this game for Southern Miss, hitting that sacrifice fly to get runners in the top of the second.
The 0-2 from Green. Blocked in the dirt by Buchanan. Another one skips in the dirt. Hit in front of home plate. Counts tied up 2-2. 1 out, bases empty.
It's too conservative here by Green with 2 balls now in the dirt after 2 straight strikes.
This one a ground ball, and it gets past Pearson Reebok into right field. A 1 out single for Seth Smith, his second base hit of the ball game.
And for Green there, after getting to an 0-2 count, just getting way too conservative and then letting up a hit there, has to make that change going into these next 2 batters. They face off against Higdon, who had a double last time he was up to bat, and then Joey Urban, and just really needing to end this inning quickly, getting those 2 players out.
I want a called strike to Ben Higdon. Higdon 1 for 4. Had a double in the 6th inning. Oh, that pitch almost hit him in the face. Up and inside. Had to turn his head back.
And the whole entire crowd kind of having reactions to that one, and Ben Higdon holding on to his head, just thankful that that one didn't hit him.
Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Green gets set. Kicks and deals. Fouled off the end of the bat. And Green now with the advantage. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Awkward swing by Higdon. And that's the 2nd K for Mason Green in the inning.
And that's exactly what Mason Green needs going into this at-bat versus Joey Urban, who's already struck out twice today swinging.
So Joey Urban will step into the right-handed batter's box. Southern Miss now 5 for 15 today with runners on base. That's a beautiful first pitch. Called a strike at the knees.
That's what Green has been doing all this inning, really starting off these at-bats well, getting strikes early.
Out of the stretch, the 0-1. And that one gets by Buchanan. Some aggressiveness from Seth Smith. He slides in safely to third. And some confusion from Buchanan. Didn't realize the ball had gone past him, or had thought that Joey Urban had made some contact, but Seth Smith advances 2 bases on the pass ball.
Some of that surprise was just from the aggressiveness from Smith, as like we talked about earlier on the base paths, this team, the Southern Miss, is not aggressive at all. So to get to third there, very uncharacteristic.
That pitch misses low and inside, and so it'll be ruled a wild pitch. I'll go against Mason Green, and here comes Mitch Thompson. And it looks like he has seen enough. Makes the call to the bullpen, so Baylor will go to their fourth arm in this ball game. And we'll take a quick break as we get ready for this new pitcher. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
So the new pitcher in for Baylor, it's Luke DeVasier. Second time that he's coming in to pitch this weekend. Went 1 1/3 yesterday against Purdue. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. Part of that late inning collapse by the Baylor bullpen, hoping for a bounce back. He'll inherit a runner on third. Pitch to Joey Urban, called a strike.
Just like you were talking about, sort of trying to bounce back from yesterday, as the relief pitching today has been great, and he was a part of that group yesterday that collapsed in that Purdue loss.
So now Braden Buchanan, after 1 pitch, will walk to the mound, talk to DeVasier.
I've seen a lot of that today when these relief pitchers have come in, whether it be a couple pitches in or maybe 1 or 2 batters, Braden Buchanan coming up and talking to them and just really trying to be encouraging and trying to make sure they can just get out of this inning.
2-2 count to Joey Urban. Runner on third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from DeVasier. Misses away, and the count runs full. Infield shaded to the left against the righty hitting Urban. Payoff pitch. Low, it skips in the dirt, and that's ball 4. Urban is aboard for the second time today.
Just another one of those full count situations that makes it so difficult for these Baylor pitchers. And now Buchanan communicating with the infield, but that needs to be something that's fixed. And now DeVasia needs to be careful here against Matthew Rousseau, who had an excellent double in his last at-bat.
First pitcher, Rousseau, big swing and a miss. Got him with the low slider. That was a beautiful pitch right there. Rousseau 3 for 4, pair of singles and a double. Aiden had mentioned. The 0-1 delivery. This one lifted high down the left field side. That's out of play. So Rousseau behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
And like I said, this is where the Baylor pitchers need to take advantage. No balls, 2 strikes. You cannot get conservative here.
Now the infield shaded the other way to Rousseau. Pearson Reebok a couple feet into the grass. This one popped up into shallow center field. Backing up is Sanders. He'll give way to Ty Johnson, who subbed in last inning for Bo Carraway, who puts it away for out number 3. As Luke DeVasia strands runners on the corners and keeps it a 2-run deficit for the Bears as we head to the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher in for Southern Miss, the righty freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Sam Mitchell. His first pitch to Bryton Clements, in for a strike. Mitchell making his second appearance of the season. Went 1 perfect inning against Southeastern Louisiana on Tuesday. Missed with that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Clements. 0 for 3 on the day. This one skied into foul territory, but that'll go foul.
And Mitchell, during his senior campaign in high school, went 6-2 with a 1.54 ERA.
This one hopper snagged by the second baseman Morrison, who sends it over to first for out number 1.
That was a great get there by Morrison. As that hit had some heat coming off of it, off that bounce, and having a good start to this inning for Mitchell.
He did a good job of judging what angle to attack that ball at, and make sure to hold back just a little bit with how fast it was going as John Ewens takes that first pitch high for a strike.
And that's been Ewens' issue today, having 2 at-bats where he's struck out looking.
That one up and inside, doesn't get a swing, turns around that front shoulder. And we've seen in a couple of these at-bats, it started like this. Couple balls kind of eases him to not pick up that bat, and then eventually starts getting hit with 1, then 2 strikes, and then strikes out looking as he fouls this one right over our heads.
No, you're exactly right, Jeffrey. Sort of easing him in, and then suddenly pitcher gets comfortable, knows there's going to be no aggressiveness, and then ends up striking Ewens out. But then you also have the other cases, like his first at-bat where he was walked, and now the ball there, now a 3-1 count.
3-1 pitch, up and inside for ball 4. Second time John Ewens has reached base, both times on the base on balls.
So that kind of patience, does have its pluses sometimes, getting walks there, but, it's a double-edged sword. You either get a walk or you get a strikeout looking, as now a pinch runner comes in for Ewens.
Caleb Bergman, who pinch runs for John Ewens. First pitch to Braden Buchanan, in at the knees for strike 1.
And Braden Buchanan having a similar game to Pearson Reebok in that Oregon State game, being really the majority of the offense today for Baylor.
The 0-1, swing and a miss, gets away from Stockman, and Bergman will get over to second standing up. I'll be on the wild pitch. Bergman appearing in his 4th game. Made his first start of the season yesterday against Purdue, 0 for 2. But he came in against Texas State as a pinch hitter, went 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI double, also scored twice. As this one is ripped into deep center field, backing up as Tonsmeyer. And he makes the catch for out number 2.
Now 2 outs and bottom of the 8th, and only one more chance to get any runs. Baylor really needs to take advantage of this runner in scoring position right now and have some late game heroics in terms of getting the game tied like they did versus Oregon State. Now, not ultimately winning that game, but having some offensive surge late and being able to tie it when down.
Ty Johnson stares at the first pitch. He came in as a defensive sub for Bo Caraway in the top of the 7th. Pitch low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Johnson.
Johnson has been in these situations before, being one of the older players on this roster, and right now is the time to take some of that experience of what he's learned handling situations like this is starting to see the left side of the infield kind of creep in for Southern Miss.
And that pitch just misses the zone. Just a little too far outside on the backdoor slider. So it's now 2 balls, 1 strike.
Uproar from Southern Miss fans thinking that was a strike there.
That was a really close call. Throwback to second. Almost gets by Seth Smith. But able to stretch and keep the ball in the infield. Ty Johnson yesterday 1 for 4, RBI and a run. As well as 1 for 1 on stolen bases. He looks at strike 2, so the count's all tied up. 2 outs, runner on second. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. And Sam Mitchell, he's pumped up, he's fired up as he strands a runner on second and keeps it a 3-1 ball game. As we are through 8 frames in the final game of the Round Rock Classic. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Luke DeVasier back out, trying to keep it only a 3-1 ball game here in the 9th inning. His first pitch to Davis Gillespie, called a strike on the fastball, clocked in at 91 miles an hour. Dre Barrett on deck, Kyle Morrison in the hole. Fouls this one straight back.
Gillespie having an uncharacteristically down day, as he has not recorded a hit yet so far.
This one a hard ground ball to short, played by Sanders. His throw in time to get the first out here in the top of the 9th.
We've seen a lot more confidence and just more calm energy out of DeVasier compared to yesterday, and really last inning and this inning so far going really well for him compared to the collapse that happened versus Purdue.
Now, last inning walked Matthew Russo and then walked Joey Urban and then forced Matthew Russo to pop up to shallow center field. His first pitch to Barrett misses high. DeVasier's pitch this time misses low.
And Barrett so far today has not struck out or created an out from himself, as so far today 2 walks and a single and a double.
2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch from DeVasier misses upstairs this time.
Right now, DeVasier just kind of has to ride the storm of these next 2 batters, as it has been really difficult today for Baylor pitchers in this part of the lineup.
And that's a 4-pitch walk issued by DeVasier. So Kyle Morrison now up to bat, 1 out and a runner on first. He's reached base all 4 times today. Pair of singles, hit by pitch, and then most recently walked in the 7th. First pitch, no swing, and it's a ball inside.
As I was saying, Barrett and Morrison as a tandem have really frustrated pitchers today for Baylor, whether just kind of waiting them out and winning the chess match or getting a hit and keeping it in play, as Baylor comes out to talk to DeVasier.
Sean Snedeker and Braden Buchanan walking out to talk to DeVasier.
Like I said earlier, it's early in a lot of these pitchers' tenures on the mound that, you know, they'll come out and talk to them and try to get them motivated and keep going. As, you know, this is a position for DeVasier where, you know, having a runner on first, only having 1 out though, but things can really start to slide from this point on, and this is really sort of the turning point of this inning for DeVasier versus Barrett. Excuse me, Morrison.
Southern Miss has had a base runner on every single inning in this ball game. Morrison fouls one to the backstop.
That was another foul ball that almost made its way back here to us in the booth.
The righty DeVasier against the lefty Morrison. The pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
As much as yesterday was a tough moment, still have to stay aggressive as a pitcher and not have a bunch of these pitches go to the outside and become balls.
That fastball below the knees, and it's a hitter's count, 3-1.
Because as we've seen today, Jeffrey, Southern Miss is not really chasing these pitches that are low and outside the zone.
Been a very disciplined team thus far. 3-1. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Puts runners on first and second with only 1 out in the top of the 9th. And here comes Mitch Thompson, getting his steps in. This is the 3rd time he's walking out to the mound in the last 3 innings. And so he'll call it for DeVasier, as the Bears will go to pitcher number 5 of the ball game, and we'll step aside. And we'll come back as the top of the 9th continues. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Grayson Murray in for the Bears, making his 4th appearance on the season. Pitched yesterday. His first pitch gets a check swing, and William Tonsmeyer went around. So he pitched yesterday against Purdue, made only one pitch. That was the walk-off single from Weston Boyle as the 0-1 in the zone for a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes now to Tonsmeyer. Pinch hit for Caleb Stelly in the 7th, grounded out to a 6-4-3 double play. Now with runners on first and second. That pitch just a little too far outside. Murray with his sidearm delivery.
Now getting this at bat, 2 strikes quickly, just like everybody else, has to finish it off.
Tonsmeyer gets a piece of that pitch and fouls it back.
Because the problem for Baylor's pitchers isn't starting off these at-bats well, because they do. It's really just ending them and getting it over with once they get those 2 strikes.
This one a hard ground ball to Tice Armstrong, turns it around for a second, he throws it wide of Travis Sanders as Dre Barrett comes around to score from second. And it'll be an error against Tice Armstrong.
And that was really a great opportunity for Baylor to get another double play, which they've had several this weekend and in this game as well. And just such a missed opportunity. And, you know, for Grayson Murray, almost got out of this inning, but now having to stay in, already allowing 1 run and still having a runner in scoring position and 1 out.
First pitch to Stockman low for ball 1, and that's a rare major miscue from this Baylor defense. We haven't seen a whole lot of miscues at all, especially not from Tice Armstrong, who's played a very solid first base. That one called a strike in the lower portion of the zone, and when you're a first baseman trying to get the runner out at second, you got to throw towards the outside part of the bag, trying to get Travis Sanders moving kind of from his position towards Pearson Reebok, but Tice Armstrong threw just a little too far inside as that one's a called strike. So Stockman.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. as coming into this Round Rock Classic, Baylor had only had 2 errors, and even in games before this, only 1 error in this tournament itself, just very uncharacteristic.
And Grayson Murray overpowers Stockman with the high fastball, swing and a miss for a strikeout. That's out number 2, much needed. Now a 4-1 ball game. Seth Smith stepping into the left-handed batter's box. And a sac fly. And his first attempt as this one is a ground ball into center field. Heading for home is Morrison, and he will score easily. It's an RBI single. And Seth Smith's second run driven in tonight as Southern Miss now takes a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, Southern Miss just doing a great job of driving these runs in, and really all of their hits coming in perfect position to where it's just so hard for Baylor players to get to it and prevent them from scoring.
So runners on first and second with 2 outs in what is now a 5-1 ball game in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch misses inside. And Grayson Murray, who last year was a staple in this bullpen, 18 appearances, a 2.19 ERA, has had a rough go of it this weekend. And honestly, this season as a whole, that one's a 1-1 count now to Higdon. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits to New Mexico State last Saturday. Gets a big swing and a miss from Higdon there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And the relief pitching was just, it was really doing so well today. And then, just now with Murray kind of lulling back into what it had been previously over the last 2 nights here.
As this one hit high into right field. Backing up is Janusek. He makes the catch for out number 3. But the Golden Eagles strike for 2 more runs and extend that lead. They're up 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th here at Dell Diamond. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Sam Mitchell back out on the mound, hoping to close this one out for the Golden Eagles and help them get 3 wins on the weekend. His first pitch to Brady Janusek misses up and away for ball 1. Bears now needing 4 runs to extend this game. They trail 5-1. Another pitch misses up. 2 balls, no strikes to Janusek.
And as we've kept talking about all day, that aggressiveness, and I mean, at this point, it's now or never.
That pitch gets the inner third. Janusik didn't think that was a strike. He turned his front leg back. 2-1. Swings under the high fastball, and the count's all tied up at 2.
As you've seen, there's been a lot of disagreement with the calls today from Baylor players, almost like sort of confused what the strike zone is from the umpire.
As he's jammed up a slow dribbler to second base, the throw to first. In time with Sam Mitchell covering. So a rare 4-1 ground out. And there's one gone in the bottom of the 9th.
Sam Mitchell doing a really great job of just maintaining this game for Southern Miss, and overall, the relief for Southern Miss has been just superb throughout this game.
Yeah, they really have not made any mistakes today as Pearson Reebok steps into the left-handed batter's box. He stares at strike 1 on that low and inside corner. Reebok 0 for 3, did reach on a walk in the 3rd inning. Mitchell misses outside with the slider. 1-1 count, 1 out. Nobody on base. And a beautifully framed pitch by Stockman gets the lower third of the zone, and that's strike 2. Up and inside, got Reebok leaning back, trying not to get hit. 2-2 count. Ooh, another close pitch. Try to get that backdoor slider to freeze up Reebok, but doesn't get the call.
Southern Miss fans not happy about that, thinking that that should have been the strikeout to end this at bat.
Full count pitch upstairs, and that's the 4th ball of the plate appearance, and that's a walk. Second time Pearson Reebok is aboard.
Now Travis Sanders looking to end his current streak, since yesterday. Really just, he's had a walk today, but sort of just been a mixed bag in terms of his consistency at the plate.
Has 7 strikeouts on the weekend, 3 base hits. Stares at ball 1. He walked in the 5th, grounded out to 3rd in the 7th. Going to find any way to get on base here in the 9th. That pitch misses away. And he's ahead in the count 2-0.
This will be so big for Baylor, getting him on base and setting up Tice Armstrong, who has so much power and could really drive in at least 1 or 2 runs for this Baylor team and get this inning going.
2-0. Misses away. 3 balls, no strikes. Mitchell gets set. And he deals. And that's a 4-pitch walk. And the Bears getting some traffic here in the 9th inning, trying to crawl their way back, down by 4 runs in a 5-1 ball game.
Now it's time for Tice Armstrong, as got out of his slump with the single at his last at bat, and really now has a chance to, like I said, get this inning going and get Baylor's momentum back.
So it started as a strong outing for Sam Mitchell. Golden Eagles wanted to have him close out this game, but 2 straight walks, and that'll do it for him tonight. As Southern Miss will go to another pitcher to try to get the 2 final outs of this ball game. And we'll return with that arm. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
And the new pitcher in for Southern Miss, senior righty J.W. Armistead, making his third appearance of the season. Both times he's come up earlier, only needed to get one out, both against UC Santa Barbara. His first pitch to Tice Armstrong is low. He's had some command issues so far. On Saturday, got one out but walked two, and then Sunday got one out and walked another. His fastball center cut for a strike.
He's another one of those players for Southern Miss, just bringing experience to the mound in this type of situation where you just need to get the two outs and get the win.
Armstrong got a single his last time up. That pitch misses inside, and the Southern Miss fans raining down boos and gasps. They expected that to be a strike.
They were celebrating a bit prematurely, thinking that was a strike.
Armstrong unleashes on this ball, but it's a fly ball to dead center as Tonsmeyer under to make the catch for out number two.
That one, I'm sure, for Baylor fans, gave them hope for a second. He got contact with the ball, it looked good, and then just didn't have the distance. Now Hunter Snow, who had the home run robbed by Easton Talt versus Oregon State. At this point, Baylor really hoping that he can try to recreate that and hopefully not get robbed this time.
First pitch called a strike, taken by Hunter Snow, and Tice Armstrong, barring any major comeback from the Bears, will finish this weekend 1 for 12. 0-1 up and inside, having to back off Snow. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first and second in the bottom of the ninth. Bears still trailing 5-1. Misses outside with the fastball, that time at 91 miles an hour. Here's the pitch. High and tight once again, and it's a 3-1 count to Hunter Snow.
As we've talked about today, it's been kind of funny how in every at-bat, these pitches from Southern Miss have been very close and inside to Hunter Smith.
Hunter Snow takes a big hack, gets under the fastball from J.W. Armistead.
Excuse me, Hunter Snow.
Armistead appeared in 2 games and saw 1 inning of work against Old Dominion and Georgia State last year. Now with the chance to close out the Round Rock Classic. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. And that's the ball game. Bears drop all 3 games here in Round Rock as they lose this one 5-1 against Southern Miss. And what started out as a weekend with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy coming from the Bears and Baylor fans, and it just falls flat on their face.
It really did, and now just losing 3 games in a row is so demoralizing after having such a hot start to the year. And really the big takeaway from this game, you know, relief pitching got itself back into gear. You know, Murray let up the 2 runs late, but the biggest issue, and really continued to be the issue throughout this entire weekend, was the hitting for Baylor, as there's just not a lot of aggressiveness. Today, 2 chances with 1 out or less and bases loaded, and only getting 1 run from that is something that Mitch Thompson, I'm sure, is going to be talking about with his team. And just really not a lot of aggressiveness in terms of hitting, looking at a lot of first pitches. And as you saw tonight, how did they lose? Hunter Snow looking at a pitch and striking out. And so really for this Baylor team, there's going to have to be a talk about getting aggressiveness at the plate, and even if it ends up being a foul ball, at least getting contact to where you're putting pressure on opposing teams.
So McCarty English will get the win for Southern Miss today. Cade Hansen will be handed the loss. Bears, after starting the season 4-0, now drop to 4-3, and the going does not get much easier from here. They play Stephen F. Austin on Tuesday, first pitch at 4 p.m., and then they'll head to the Bruce Bolt College Classic at Daikin Park in Houston, and that will be an unbelievable test. They play Ole Miss on Friday, Texas on Saturday, and then they'll finish off with UTSA on Sunday. And for the Bears, there's got to be a wake-up call, right? You need to find out what's going on, because when you're too aggressive, they're not making contact with the ball. When they're too conservative, they're striking out, looking. And there was just a lot of issues that have come to light after what seems like cloud 9 for the first 4 games. The Bears have finally come back down to earth, and will have to regroup as they finish out the non-conference schedule next weekend and then start playing Big 12 opponents. But that'll do it from us here at the Round Rock Classic. Thank you for joining us for these 3 days. But unfortunately, the Bears dropping 3 games, losing to Oregon State 3-1 on Friday, and then losing to Purdue yesterday 6-5 on a walk-off, and now 5-1 to Southern Miss today. Bears will be back out on the field on Tuesday as they take on the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. First pitch at 4 p.m. Well, that'll do it from us here at the Round Rock Classic. From all of us here at the Baylor Lariat Radio, I'm Jeffrey Cohen. Here alongside me is Aiden O'Connor, and you've been listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.